CooptyLew here. Here's to New Beginnings 2020. Hey guys, so happy to be here. I'd like to thank Wasima for inviting me to the New Beginnings 2020 YouTube conference. You. Thanks for coming and watching this. My name is Shilo from CooptyLew Art and Tarot. I am normally just showing decks. I am a deck collector, mostly tarot, but lots of oracle as well. And I kind of had a depth year this year where I didn't really collect much, but I went in depth with myself and with my tarot collection that I already do have. And so I would like to share with you today a couple of things. You might know me from my website. I do have a website called CooptyLew Art and Tarot, or from the deck that I published previously. I got it done in 2018, but it really hit the shelves in 2019, and it's called the Tarot Banksy. If you haven't heard of me, it's not really a big deal, because today I'm going to share some shadow work, journaling activities, and also some inner child work activities to help you have a new beginning for the 2020 year. It is my hope that we can all reach deep within ourselves to find love and joy and to create art. See you in a minute. If you've been at the place where I've been, then you have needed to make a change because you found that you were at a crossroads, you know. I'm from Las Vegas, which is a very big city. There are approximately 2.5 million people there. So after my dad died, that was the final straw for me. And I decided to make a change, a huge change actually, because being from Las Vegas, I always wanted to go where it rained a lot, you know, but I never could. And I kind of got stuck in that rat race living, in that rat race lifestyle for, you know, most of my life, just like everybody does. And my dad was a really hard worker, you know, he seriously, he worked every day. His days were 16 hours long, my whole life. And he never really got to enjoy, you know, what it was that he was working so hard for. And then he got sick. And that was my 2019. He ended up dying June 4th. And we were at a point where we needed to move at the time anyway. We were done. We were living in an HOA and it was shitty. And I had just published my Banksy deck, so I had some time, you know, to get out and a little bit of income from it. And so we left. And we moved to Oregon in an RV. You know, and at first it was pretty damn tough. I'm not even gonna lie. I've never been so close to my husband at all times of the day and night, you know, to where we really needed to miss each other. But now we've adjusted and we moved into a rental. We are buying a house, but this is my new beginning. I left everything I know. And it's also been a deep delve into who I am as a person, as a mother, as a daughter, as a human, as a creative spirit and a life force being. And so this is my new home. This is what I call home now. And we have deers, and we have coyotes, and we have, maybe some of the stuff you don't want. But it's quiet. The traffic isn't heard. If we hear traffic, someone's coming over to our house because, not a lot of people live here. And I feel at home for the first time ever. But now I need to get back to my creative state, my creative self, the creative girl that I am, because that's the one thing I've been missing in this new beginning. So for 2020, Shilo's coming back. CooptyLew is coming back with some new shit. And you'll be glad to know that I have been working while I've been making all these changes in life. I really honestly have still been working, and I'm going to show you 2 things I've been working on today. I've been doing a lot of self-work. I lost my dad. That's huge. That took part of my own self-knowledge with it, because I'm who am I without my dad? So I've been rediscovering myself, and I've been doing something called the shadow worker, which I'm going to show you. And I have also been doing something in terms of a new deck. It's called Inner Child Artist. It uses all of my students' artwork from when I was an art teacher for 11 years. And it features writing using my non-dominant hand. So I'm going to share some of that with you, and we're going to do a little project. It's going to be fun! New beginnings, 2020. Have you ever just faced a shadow side of yourself? Maybe even something you didn't want to see, like a bad reflection in your mirror, or you had a grudge against somebody because they were late, but you're always late. Or maybe you used to be late and you're not late anymore because you learned a lesson at some point in your life, so now you hate late people. Our shadow sides appear at the worst of times, and they usually are what bring about our fears and our, disbeliefs, maybe is the word for it. Non-beliefs, the things that we believe in that are not true, the things that make us tick sometimes, and maybe some of our prejudices. If you think about it, you can learn a lot when you turn around and look at the shadow. When you look at that person that is reflecting in the mirror. I would love to say that I'm perfect, but I know that I make mistakes. I make them all the time. And sometimes I want to tell somebody that I've made a mistake, and sometimes I don't want to really see the mistake that I've made. Oh man, we could all look back at our life and we could think of all the mistakes we made. But you know what? It doesn't serve us. It just absolutely does not serve us. So, what I've chosen to do is delve deep within myself to find out why I have these hurts from the past, why I feel like maybe I didn't have power as a child, maybe why I want to get to the bottom of where my power went, or find out why I can't access it within me. These things are very important to me now because I don't have that person to ask that I always asked before. He's gone, and I could ask my mom, don't get me wrong, but she would just say that she knows that it's in me. and sometimes I don't feel like I can access it. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that in my childhood. There's a reason for that in my shadow. And I have been determined to find it. So I'm looking, and I'm looking. And I invite you to delve deep into yourself with me, because sometimes inside is the only place we can go to find the answers. Sometimes, in order for us to get in touch with our inner child, may refer to an unconscious aspect of your personality. And what better way is there to do that than with your puppy dog? Or the entirety of the unconscious. For example, everything of which a person is not fully conscious. In this online journaling experience, you will be assisted in recognizing, embracing, and resolving your own shadow. To know thyself is to be the ruler of one's own universe. This experience will provide you with the tools and opportunities to recognize, resolve, and embrace all parts of yourself, including your shadow side. By doing this, you can move forward in your life in a more holistic and balanced way, leaving all negativity and any unwanted patterns, beliefs, or behaviors behind you. This challenge is free and it is self-facilitated. I really encourage you to do it. Let's go into lesson 1. For lesson 1, it says, so many aspects of our lives interweave together to create our present experience of life, whether good or bad or ugly. Basically, where are you right now? Find a quiet place to focus and pay attention to your environment as well as your senses as you take a closer look around you and ask yourself the following questions. What do you love about your life, and what do you not love so much about it? What are you grateful for? What things are you grateful for but often forget to acknowledge? What things do you love but frequently pass by without paying much attention to? For example, your house plants, your wedding vase, wildflowers. How do you think and communicate? When you listen to others, do you focus? Do others listen to you? Does your communication style change depending upon who you are talking to or how you're feeling? What are your recurring and frequent thoughts about, and what are your habits, including those that annoy you, those you may be proud of, and everything in between? After journaling your answers to these questions, find a quiet spot to sit comfortably for 10 minutes while you concentrate only on the act of sitting quiet and still. Day 2 talks about where do you consider yourself to be in your life right now. Day 3, what are you grateful for and what do you love about your life? Day 4, what do you want to change about your life? Day 5, how do you feel about your body? Day 6, how is your emotional health? Day 7, how is your mental health? Then, if you go back, you can discover day 8, how is your spiritual health? How are your relationships with others for day 9? Day 10, how are your finances? Day 11, how is your love life? Day 12, how's your self-care? And day 13, what is your meaning of your life? You can also find me through my website, you can follow my blog first of all, and then you could find me on Instagram or Facebook under CooptyLew Art Studio. I'm on Pinterest as well as YouTube, and my site pages are available for you to be able to find the different pages on my site. Thank you. So here's my morning routine with my inner child deck, which I plan on showing you first really quickly. And then I want to get into what I do for my day and how I utilize the card in order to access my inner child and to also incorporate artwork into that, and also some writing. You'll see. I'm going to show you. So I like to smudge my area. Sorry, it's bright and early. I have to have my coffee. It is oh so good. And I grab my deck. I don't want to really mix them all up because I've already done some of them. As you can see, if you look right back there, that's all writing that I've completed for inner child. So let me see if I can line this back up. All right, so let's look at some of the cards real quick. These are the ones I've done. Play in the water. Favorite friend. Can you guys see this okay? The sun's not even up. My dogs are not even up. That's how I like it when I'm working with my cards. Rest Your Tired Eyes is done. Build a Castle. Try it on for size. These are the ones I've completed already. That one was fun, and so was this one. Alright, so those are completed, and these aren't. So I'm going to take these ones out of the deck, because I'm going to shuffle it. These are the backs. This is comprised of all my student work. I was an art teacher for 11 years, and when I taught, I created a lot of projects with and for students. So it's a combination of both. Students' artwork that I created to facilitate art projects and projects that they created from art projects I facilitated. So it's going to be a lot of fun, because how I've used it is I started an art therapy program and I did a couple semesters. I realized soon that it really wasn't for me because I'm very empathic, and so I had a little bit of an issue taking on other people's worries and problems. And so what I decided is that I liked doing tarot and helping people that way better. And so I started, working with tarot cards more. And I'm going to do a couple more shuffles here. And, I love my tarot deck. So I'm going to actually take the card off the bottom. They call it the shadow card. And since I'm doing shadow worker and I incorporate inner child work and shadow work because of my therapy background, I did take stuff away from that, though. I have learned a lot. Although I'm not a therapist, and I'm not saying you should use these cards in lieu of a therapist, but these cards help you to think about things from your childhood. So I'm just going off the cuff here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh, okay, we got this card. It's called Play Outside. And one of my students drew a very, very detailed thing. So I don't know, I always draw a little, here, I'll show you. I draw a little version of the card. And then I use a psycho technique, a psycho technique, man. I use a technique where I write with my non-dominant hand. So what happens is you can't focus on what you're writing because you're too focused on how you're writing, and it's quite difficult to do. So here we go. We're going to see what comes up, because I always try to think back to my childhood, and I already know something that I made as a child that I would like to draw today that I'm going to go ahead and draw. So I'm going to zoom us in a bit. and I kind of go over on the left side of the paper here. That's probably plenty. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate my morning for you, or how I've been doing my mornings. So I start with my drawing, and I'm going to go ahead and start with drawing what I actually maybe would have drawn for this card if I use the prompt, play outside. I scoot everything over here. And I draw with my right hand. I'm right hand dominant, so. Alright, so I always put the prompt over here in my regular writing. Okay, and I draw with my regular hand, my dominant hand, but it would be kind of cool to try to draw with your non-dominant hand for your inner child artist work. You know, that would be actually very kind of phenomenal, I think. I'm not going to do it today though, because yeah, for the sake of time, because I'm pretty slow when I write, and we're going to be doing a little prompt too. So I'm going to go ahead and draw what I wanted to. So I'm going to start with like a tree. I'm going to go with like a fence here. A slatted fence here. Goes to the back, and then there's a big tree here. It has big. That was my apple tree when I was little. And it had these great limbs and limbs off of it like this. Okay. And then we had this rope swing that I connected up here to one of these and to the fence. So let's connect it here first. It was a rope. We'll say it connected here, and then it went around and it connected to the tree again. So back up like here, and it was just a rope, but it was doubled up, so it swung in between here like that. Okay, and then I had my dog out there all the time. She had these floppy ears. Floppy ear, Buffy. And I never worry about how I'm drawing, because it's inner child. You know, she did have a fluffy tail like that. Okay, so there's my dog. And then I think that's probably good for what I did when I played outside. Other than I had lots of people. And this fence was crazy like this. The slots came up. Alright. My sister back there, I had a turtle, 2 turtles back there. Some little turtles with their little legs here. And they had long necks and heads like that. Alright, cool. Alright, then I will take, usually just kind of like grab markers. Any kind of markers will do this when you wet them. And it's just kind of fun to start with the drawing, because it kind of gives you, you know, it's fun. Every child loves to create art. In my own experience, all the children that I've ever worked with have had a blast just creating. Let me grab my markers. Where are my markers? And I will just quickly color it. So it's a tree. Let me find some brown here. My nose is running this morning. I'm gonna use some alcohol markers just to get like the thicker. These are just wood pieces. Never fun, never fun. Alright, then maybe a lighter brown. Some dark brown Tombow in just a tree here. See, and what person honestly doesn't love to just color? But these are special and you'll see why. These kind of fuzz out. Alright, then maybe let's use some Tombow again for the grass back here. And you can see the grass in between the fence. It's all sky too, so. Alright, we'll do some of that. Let's go for some blue in the sky here. Alright, and some more grass color. Let me just go with a lighter. Get this going in here. This is my dog, but it's kind of like a tan color, but we have a lot of tan here. I never try to make these perfect. These are seriously just for fun. But they make my day start well. Because not only am I connecting with my inner child, but I'm also just connecting with myself. And in the morning, hey, that's always a good idea. I love sage. All right, let's make my dog kind of like a, well, I don't know. Maybe she should be I don't want brown, I want red. She's going to be a red dog just because I want her to be red today. Or a pink dog. Hello, puppy Buffy. You know, my turtles are going to be purple, I've decided. Why not? This is my childhood picture. Purple turtles. And my hose was definitely green. But I'm going to have that be green with glitter after, too. I put it in dark green. It's not dark enough. I need a darker green. How about this? Yes. And I want a little darker of the blue color in the sky. Oh, it's gonna be a day. I don't care. My thing that I need to do today is play outside, so get ready, guys. All right, let me show you what I do with this now. Morning. All right, so I moved my cards from the deck. I'm going to put this into this pile now because I'm doing it today. So then I have these ones left to do. And what I do now is I wet this. And I just let it do what it's going to do. And while it's drying, I go ahead and I do my morning prompt for the inner child deck of writing. Oh, I hate it when I have an extra lid. Darn it. That just came off. It's going to be making my puppy shine a little bit. Alright, so here we go. That Sharpie. So we can move. Jeez. Come on. Where's the Sharpie things? Okay. Play outside. I am gonna dab this just a bit here. So I don't get my Sharpie wet. Alright, so my non-dominant hand. Here we go. I need to really dry it off. Otherwise it'll just get my Sharpie wet and it won't work. Oh, it might be too late. Yeah, it's wet. It's wet. It's official. It is so hard to write. I have to turn it this way a little bit, guys. Sorry. Playing outside. Playing outside is my favorite thing to do. My parents let me play outside. Until the street lights come on. I always like to play with my friends, but today I want to invent a swing for gymnasts. I am thinking about using a hose because it is so stretchy. But it is very hard to break. I also want to teach my dog another new trick. So I then finish this up by going around it with this dark marker. And then I see what I can incorporate from that little adventure into my past, into my day to day. Yeah, so inner child. I'm really excited to show it to you. Just like a trucker. Anyway, thank you for joining me in this little experiment. And, you know, I challenge you to get in touch with your inner child and also to let that child live in you and live through you as you go about your new year, and use it as a new beginning, or maybe some shadow work. But my point is, get in touch with yourself. Get in touch with yourself, because your life will never be better once you are Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Sometimes, in order for us to get in touch with our inner child, we have to actually go out into nature. And what better way is there to do that than with your puppy dog?
Keep me in your heart until I come to you. Keep me on your mind until you breathe in my kiss. Hold me like a promise, hide me as a treasure. I'll be home soon, I'll be home soon. I've been looking for you, where you been so long. I've been looking for you, where you been so long. I remember that day in the park when the band tried to play in the pouring rain. And everybody said it was the single best day of their life, that's right. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. You like a promise, hide you like a treasure. You'll be home soon, you'll be home soon. I've been looking for you, where you been so long. I've been looking for you, where you been so long. I remember that day in the park when the band tried to play in the pouring rain. Everybody said it was the single best day of their life, that's right. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you.
This is what we do when we want to find some tranquility and get in touch with our inner selves and the inner child that lives within us. It is just so beautiful to live by moving water. I love the river. If you happen to have someone in your life, like I do, who is a child, not even just at heart, just a big child anyway, then you can just follow them around and see what they do to, get in touch with their inner children. So let's just watch him. He insists that juggling, he was a juggler as a child, is what you gotta do to get in touch with your inner child. Well, me, I've never juggled, but I'm going to try it because, why not? That's my neighbor's dog. It's either mine or my neighbor's. All right, so this big child is taking the camera. I cannot ensure how this will be. Hey, you be quiet over there, big boy. And I'm going to try I have no idea how to juggle. How do you get all 3 balls in the air?
You gotta be able to throw 2 in the air at one time.
All right, we juggle with 2 balls.
There you go, down to 2.
1 ball. I'm okay with that because I'm juggling. I'm playing.
Keep me in your heart until I come to you. Keep me on your mind until you breathe in my kiss. Hold me like a promise, hide me as a treasure. I'll be home soon, I'll be home soon. I've been looking for you, where you been so long? I've been looking for you, where you been so long? I remember that day in the park when the band tried to play in the pouring rain, and everybody said it was the single best day of their life. That's right. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. You like a promise, hide you like a treasure. You'll be home soon, you'll be home soon. I've been looking for you, where you been so long? I've been looking for you, where you been so long? I remember that day in the park when the band tried to play in the pouring rain. Everybody said it was the single best day of their life. That's right. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north, gonna find you. Love is like a compass, gonna find true north.